I just matched with my dead wife on Tinder, Part 2. Written by Emo Horror. I picked up my heel and looked down at a snuffed-out robin that had just been underneath my boot. I thought nothing of it until I found another dead bird. This one, a fat, brown little sparrow, deceased at my feet. The sparrow and the robin were just two of what looked to be a dozen dead birds strewn around the entry and front yard of my home. This couldn't have been an accident. My pet name for my wife was Birdie. I took the lead this time, messaging Allison on Tinder. "Who is this really? And why are you doing this? I've been through enough already." I had to sweat out the longest day of work of my life without an answer. I was numbly eating my signature dinner of spaghetti carbonara that I could make with just 5 ingredients in just 15 minutes when I got it. "I miss the smell of your carbonara. And it's me. I could tell you something that only I would know." Allison shot another message before I could reply. "Your favorite song is All Too Well by Taylor Swift." Shit. I had never told another soul that. Another message from Allison before I could think more. "I miss you so much, dearie. You really made my life special. I tried to hang on. You were the last thing I thought of, and it made me happy. I truly felt loved. I could feel your hand holding me strong. Sorry I couldn't hang on." My throat went dry and tears fell on my phone screen as I read her message a few times. Those last moments we shared at her bed at the hospital. That rhythmic beep of the heart monitor still played in my head. I took my time to think out what to write back to her, now actually happy that she had found some digital afterlife way to contact me. "Allison, there's no way to properly write out how grateful I am for the life I was lucky enough to share with you. I miss everything about you. I miss the way I would catch you looking at me with starry eyes when I walked across a room. I miss the way you talk like you're telling someone a secret even when you're not. I miss watching your reflection on sunny hikes. Honestly, I can't write anymore. I'm sure you can feel what I feel. I know that. Sometimes I feel you're still here, even before this." Allison replied in just the amount of time it would take someone to read that message twice. "I have been there." What? Her message came across as eerie and endearing at the same time. She went on. "You know when you set your keys down somewhere and then can't find them, and then they are somewhere you swear you never put them? Or when you feel like there were 5 shrimp in your stir-fry, and then suddenly there are only 4? Have you ever felt warmer all of a sudden while you're crying on a rainy night?" It was at that moment I realized I hadn't turned the lights on in the house, but it was almost nightfall. I sat there in the dark, crying into my congealed spaghetti, wondering if Allison was watching me right there, or if this was just the world's cruelest prank. The buzz of another message nudged me in the dark. "I'll step away. I'm sorry for causing you any grief. Allison, XO." I let that sit there. It felt right. But I also had to do some housekeeping. The thought of Allison lurking over my shoulder and sifting through everything in our house dug a burning hole into the lining of my stomach. I grabbed my computer, went out to my car, and drove into town. I stopped in the parking lot of the nearest grocery store. I took out my computer and started deleting everything I would never want Allison to find on my computer or my phone. Random old porn I had downloaded. Some pictures with a couple of flings I embarked on since she passed. It honestly wasn't that much. I was back home in less than 20 minutes. Everything felt right until I went to open our bedroom door and found a small pair of red underwear wrapped around the handle. The image of their former owner burned into my mind and turned my entire head red in a flash. I saw the girl in my mind, small, bubbly, very drunk, at the bar I went to with my high school friends. She was there with her friends from high school too. And one thing led to another. We went back to my house and spent the night together. I think she could pick up on the sadness inside me and tried to cheer me up by leaving her racy underwear on the floor like she'd forgotten them. I threw them somewhere in my closet and forgot about them, honestly. I started to panic. I started to think of a response, but I also started to feel like I had downed an entire bottle of NyQuil. My thoughts got slow. My eyelids got heavy. Every muscle in my body became sluggish. I felt drugged. I dropped down hard on the floor, unable to even make it to the bed. Lying on the floor, struggling to just stay awake, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. I used the last of my strength to reach into my pocket and get my phone out. I had a message from Allison, which I was able to read on my home screen. I'm glad I put what I did in your dinner when you weren't looking after what I found when you left. Guilty. We loved each other, Derry. Why did you do things like that? My final molecules of waking energy were enough for me to take in that message. Then I passed out. I woke up on the floor hours later, still groggy, but alive. The very first thing I did when I woke up was check Tinder. Allison's profile was deleted.